The National Gang Crime Research Center compiled from its archives some of Larry Hoover's most influential memorandums to his troops from jail, and we're going to read a few. The Gangster Disciple street gang that we know today was born in 1981. That year, capital charges were dropped against Larry Hoover and many other gang leaders known as Brothers of Struggle, who were blamed for the 1978 Pontiac prison riot that left 3 correctional officers unalive, and Hoover was released from solitary confinement. Prior to receiving 6 federal life sentences, Hoover was literally micromanaging the GDs from prison with memos to his troops. He ditched the title of king and adopted the title of chairman of the board as he organized his gang into a corporate structure for the purpose of dealing drugs, not for committing random acts of violence. In 1978, Larry Hoover organized Chicago street gangs of all races into the Folks and People's Alliances so they could settle disputes, mafia-style, like Italian crime families. Larry Hoover didn't want to stop the violence any more than Al Capone did. Hoover wanted total control of the violence inside of prison and on the streets of Chicago so he could make money dealing drugs. So, all of you fanboy, wannabe thug gangbangers, intent on poisoning my community can chill with the talk that the man is, Black Jesus, turning water into wine.
Originally, we was just gonna grow weed, but God wanted us to grow vegetables too, so I was like, let's grow some vegetables, let's bless the community and do something nice. And everything was cool. It was cool, man, until folks started acting like dicks.
In 1981, Hoover issues a memorandum to his troops: no one in the GDs can ever assault, threaten, or even disrespect a correctional officer without his blessing. Threatening or assaulting a correctional officer would mean a serious violation from the GDs. It becomes one of the 16 laws that all incarcerated GDs must follow. It was law number 7. It works, his troops obey him. This lands Larry Hoover, even though serving a life sentence for murder, the reward of eventually being transferred to a college campus-like minimum security facility in downstate Vienna, Illinois. In 1995, Hoover and 38 other GDs were indicted, based in large part on secret wiretaps by the FBI, known as the Vienna Tapes, and a raid on a non-profit organization called Save the Children. Larry Hoover used his organizational and leadership skills to build a drug empire in prison. Now, imagine for a moment if he used those same skills to build his dynasty in real estate. On today's show, we're going to read some of Hoover's most important memos from jail as the Cartoon News Network continues our series, Brothers of Struggle.
The year 1981 is when the GDs came up with a new concept, where Hoover ordered some revisions and expansion of their internal written codes. If there is a date, we can hang the time of when the GDs became a centralized, almost bureaucratic organization, run by meetings, bylaws, dues, lots of rules, reporting requirements, and a constant onslaught of memos from above. It would be the year 1981. GD gang members would get these typed memos, after they had been Xeroxed again and again, and had to read them and study them as their internal gang literature. Eventually, there would be training sessions for some members who might be in the reluctant reader category. In a memo dated October 1, 1981 from Larry Hoover to his troops, the GDs are urged to study the written rules, regulations, and written codes and creeds developed by the GD organization. It is important, historically, for several reasons. First of all, it instructs the membership that they will be getting more memos, and it therefore becomes a formal organization, centralized with Larry Hoover at the top. Second, a decade before the GDs would become visibly active in politics, here Larry Hoover alerts his troops to this long-term developmental strategy. And finally, he instructs GDs behind bars to pursue assigned positions as prison workers.
The chairman and the board of directors wish to extend our love, life, and loyalty to all brothers of the struggle. We are pleased with the support and the participation of many of you that has helped us in making a transition from the old to the new. Many of you have a copy of the organization's preface. The preface explains the new concept and the direction that the organization has taken. As we stated in the preface, in the process of going from the old to the new, we will have a few complications. As predicted, we have had our share of complications, but we refuse to allow anyone or anything to stagnate our progress or expansion. In spite of the few complications, we are happy to report that we are making progress. In order for us as an organization to continue to progress and expand, we must become more educated, politically motivated, and aware of the economical realities of Black America. Laws and sentences have become more stiffer and longer, and more prisons are being built with us in mind. We as an organization of young black men cannot allow ourselves to stay confined behind walls and locked in cages to slowly grow old and useless. Through business and politics, we can build an economical base that will ensure us boundless power and wealth. But if we stay uneducated and without political power, prisons and death will continue to be a way of life for many of us. Now is the time to put down the Donald Goines books. It is time for us to pick up the business, law, political and economical books. It is time for us to go to school, learn trades and develop all of our talents and skills, so that we will become stronger in society. We cannot wait for the system to teach us, we must take it upon ourselves to learn all that we can about this world. We must not be afraid to change or grow. We, as an organization, will not stand still and die. All brothers are to have a copy of the preface and the laws of the organization. These papers are to be kept at all times, they are for you to study and learn. These papers are important and should be treated as such. From time to time, you will be requested to attend and participate in meetings to read and discuss all documents that has been issued to the membership. It is important that you as a member of the organization, know exactly what the organization is about and where it is going. Many of us are unassigned, it is important that all of us have assignments. We need to be everywhere, capitalizing on the learning experience and the profits that each assignment has to offer. Everyone will be required to fill out an application. The reason for the application is for the chairman and his board of directors to know more about you and help place you in a program or assignment that will best suit you as an individual and as a member of this organization. Some of our brothers have been indicted for murder. We are to give these brothers all of our support. We encourage you to help in any way that you can. If they are found guilty, they will face the electric chair. We as an organization will do all that we can to see that they are free. Many of the laws that govern our organization are still being disregarded and disrespected. All laws are to be adhered to and respected. Those that continue to disregard and disrespect the laws of this organization will be violated and eradicated, removed from this organization. Again, thanks for your cooperation and participation. Sincerely, Chairman and Board of Directors.
On July 14, 1982, a memo from the chairman announced what the GDs called awareness sessions for the troops. These were mandatory.
To all brothers of struggle. The movement, it is a fact, without contradiction, that the success of any movement depends largely upon the participation of the mass of people involved in that particular struggle. Leadership without active support is as useless as spitting in the winds to aid in putting out a major fire. The fire in this case is the burning effects of poverty, lost direction, and progressive states of self-destruction. The same is true with the lack of leadership for the people. The two must combine to coordinate the movement, and each part must do its share in reaching the goals of the group. What is more important is that the directions of the organization be set forth, and that each concerned member adhere to those directions, making the necessary sacrifices required to accomplish the objectives. A group of people organized around the idea of reaching common objectives is called an organization. Without that unit that comes from having a common purpose, that same group of people qualifies as a mob, gang, etc. Therefore, it is essential that each member realize the objectives of the group. Know what it is that inspire the need for unity, and what it is that binds them one to the other. Otherwise, their membership becomes questionable. One of the basic objectives of the Black Gangster Disciple Nation is to obtain the means to self-determination for our people. We cannot possibly determine anything without being aware of our situation, as well as our alternatives. This awareness does not come from acting foolish, nor from being lax in your efforts to learn. Therefore, the leadership has opened up avenues for you to gain a perspective on life, our situation, and all aspects of progressive awareness. One such avenue is the awareness sessions, conducted by the legal arm of the organization. Awareness session, the interest of our members are many, therefore the subjects of the awareness sessions are many. Listed below are the objectives of the awareness session. 1. Bring a vast range of intelligence to the availability of the people. 2. Promote an environment of creativity among the people. 3. Practice the art of debate. 4. Inspire dignity in our people by introducing them to a black history, as well as a black heritage. 5. To in general, uplift the mental, emotional, and spiritual growth of our people. All sessions shall be in accordance with the 6 points of the Star of David, signifying the 6 principles upon which our organization is founded. These principles are love, life, loyalty, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The goals we have set to reach in these awareness sessions are valid goals. We expect to range from politics to stock markets. We shall speak of wars and cultures as well.
Wow. That sounded good. Maybe Larry Hoover is Black Jesus. The September 21, 1982 memo from the chairman of the GDs has got to be a history-making piece of internal gang literature. What other gang in the USA do you know that has its own suggestion boxes for the members to give ideas or complaints to their gang leaders?
To all brothers of the struggle. What's happening, inside and out? Fellow brother of the struggle. Once again we come to you extending our love, life, and loyalty to all the brothers of the struggle. We hope that some of the information that we are going to render here will benefit you as an individual member of this organization. Because time is essential, and as we stated in our organizational preface, we have wasted enough time dwelling on insignificant matters. It is time to prepare ourselves for the world. And that is what this issue is all about. Some more enlightening factors about our objectives, goals, and accomplishments reaching toward the world. We would first like to congratulate all of our fellow brothers who have made our struggle a success up to this point. We are celebrating 1 year since taking on our new concept of organization. Although there has been many difficulties through our struggle, many things have been accomplished. We also understand that after difficulty will come ease. Only saying, we are still reaching. During this 2nd year, we aim to establish ourselves more firmly as an organization to be reckoned with by everyone doing their share, and contributing more to our cause, objective, which is toward the world. On the streets, our brothers have been diligently involving themselves in voters' registration drives. They realize that politics is the science of who gets what, where, when, and most importantly, how. As we previously manifested to you, through business and politics, we can build an economical base that will ensure us boundless power and wealth. This is what direction we are moving in. Many of you complain about this brother benefiting, and that brother benefiting. Also, you complain about not receiving any benefits for yourself as a member of this organization. Our brother, once again we will spell out our concept, which is organization. And this is defined as a unified and consolidated group of people with an executive structure that deals with the well-being of all its people. It's an executive structure of business and enterprise for individual growth and collective acceleration of the body as a whole, which means, once we have really established ourselves collectively as an organization, our boundary of progression will be without measure. First, there must be dedication and sacrifice. We must give ourselves totally to the organization and begin to plug into what's really happening, by molding ourselves around our organizational direction. Recently, we had a meeting of minds. It was recommended that we establish a suggestion box in each unit. We encourage all our members with any suggestions that you feel will aid us in our direction to forward these suggestions to your unit coordinator, who will ensure that they are properly delivered for review. And again, we thank all our brothers for their cooperation and participation during this past year. As we venture into another year, may our progress be a success toward our objective, the world. As an organization. Plenty love, your chairman and board of directors.
Speaking of suggestion boxes, please smash that like button, subscribe to The Real CNN, and let us know in the comments section whether you would like to hear more memos from Larry Hoover in another video in our series, Brothers of Struggle. Stay tuned because we're also going to continue our documentary series on the worst places to live in Chicago. Thanks for watching.